So, if you're not already, sit yourself in a comfortable upright position, either cross-legged or on your knees, and take a moment to sit up from the lower back, so tilting the pelvis forward ever so slightly, drawing the low belly in and up, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders down, and resting your hands gently on your legs. Close your eyes and take a moment to arrive in your body, check in with how you're feeling, noticing any emotion or mood, noticing any physical sensations, any pain, any tension, any areas of ease. And then we'll do a quick body scan, bringing the awareness down into the feet and the ankles, up through the shins to the knees and the thighs. Noticing the areas where the body makes contact with the earth or the cushion. Feeling the weight of your body resting down. Then bring your awareness into the pelvis, up through the torso, perhaps lifting the chest slightly as you get there and rolling the shoulders down and back. And then bringing your awareness down through your arms, into the hands and fingers, and then up into the neck and head. Relaxing, softening all the facial muscles. And then we take 3 deep, intentional breaths together. So taking an inhale, breathing right down deep into the belly, really use the diaphragm. And exhale, allowing the sitting bones to drop down once more. Inhale, breathe wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And exhale, relax the shoulders down and back. And then one last time, inhale right down deep into the belly, into the sides, the back of the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the lungs. And exhale, let it go. Open your eyes and we'll begin the practice. So interlace your hands in front of you. Take a breath in, drawing the belly towards the spine, stabilize the torso, and as you exhale, push the hands away, tips of the thumbs touching, little fingers crossed. Really straighten the arms here, push the hands away from you. Again, keep that belly drawing in, take another breath in, and as you breathe out, turn the arms and the shoulder sockets, slowly, mindfully lifting the arms up overhead. So only going so far as you can without going into a back bend, so maintaining the alignment of the torso and just finding that movement in the shoulder sockets. And then when you get to the top, you'll start to lift up out of the waist, using the arms to lengthen the torso, feeling that stretch down the sides of the body, keep the belly drawing in. And then squeeze your upper arms towards your ears, resist away with the heels of the hand. Really active with the arms, lengthening up one more time. And then slowly release your arms down. Release your legs if you've got them crossed, stay where you are if you're on your knees, and then cross them the other way. Bring the less dominant Leg in front. Again, take a moment to check your posture. So tilt the pelvis forwards ever so slightly to maintain the lumbar curve. Lift the chest straight up, shoulders down and back. And resting your hands gently on your thighs. And then interlace your hands with the less dominant thumb on top. Take a breath in and breathing out, push the hands away. Draw the belly towards the spine, really push the palms away, straight arms here. And then stabilizing the torso as you take another breath in and then breathing out slowly, mindfully, moving those arms up above the head. Maybe finding that you can go there a little bit more quickly the second time round after the shoulders have already opened up a little bit. And then lift up out of the waist, stretching from hips to armpits to wrists, squeezing the upper arms towards each other, resist away with the palms. Keep the breath flowing in and out. And then slowly release the hands, release your legs and come up to a standing position. Begin in mountain pose, so big toes together. Bring your awareness down into the soles of the feet and spread the toes out, rounding down through the heel of one foot, lifting the ball of the foot up and stretching it forwards, and the other foot, lift the ball up, stretch it forwards and spread all the toes. And feel the contact between the soles of the feet and the floor, noticing if your weight is a little forwards or back or to either side. And then bring the body weight back slightly so that the hips are stacked over the heels. Engage the quadriceps, lifting the kneecaps, lift the front of the pelvis, draw the low belly in and up, lift the chest straight up, roll the shoulders down and back, and extend the fingers down towards the floor. Keeping all that alignment, take a breath in, and breathing out, extend the arms to the side of the room, really stretch here, seeing how wide you can be across the chest and the upper back, extending through to the fingertips, so really stretch your palms as wide as possible, splay the fingers really wide. Notice what it feels like to really activate through the hands like this. And then turn the arms in the shoulder sockets all the way up. Take another breath in and breathing out. Start to move the arms up above the head. Again, use the arms to lift up out of the waist. So get your arms up by your ears if possible. None of this. Really lengthen as much as you can. Extending up towards the ceiling. Mind still down in the feet, body weight still back on the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly in, stretching up. And then slowly allow the arms to come down and release. Hands on hips, bend your knees, step or hop to a wide stride for the second warrior pose. Two heels in one line, outside edges of the feet parallel, hands on hips, draw the elbows back. Turn the left foot in slightly, right foot out all the way, inside edge of the foot parallel with the long edge of the mat, torso still facing the front. Draw the belly in and up, inhale, outstretch the arms, lift the chest, mind in the back foot, push the heel down, engage the quadricep, and then slowly sit down to the right with the torso still in line with the pelvis, so we're not leaning over to that side. Have a look down at your right knee, check that you can see your big toe. If not, push it towards the little toe side of the foot, and then turn your head to look along your right arm. Extend through to the fingertips, again stretching across the chest and the upper back evenly. Gazing at a single point past your right hand. Take the mind to the left leg again, push that heel down, see if you can lift the inner arch of the foot up, lift the kneecap, and sit down a little bit more from that place. Draw the belly in and up one more time, lift the chest and drop the shoulders down away from the ears. But make sure that your back arm, your left arm, is still up in line with the shoulder and it hasn't drooped down behind you. See if you can sit down a little bit more into that hip, keeping the breath flowing. And then gaze to the front, straighten your right leg, turn the feet round, relax your arms for a moment. Hands on hips again, draw the elbows back, turn the right foot in and the left foot out, fully rotating that leg, torso still faces the front, belly in, inhale, outstretch the arms, extend, mind to the right foot now, engaging that leg as you slowly sit down to the left. Again, have a look down at your knee, check you can see your big toe, if not, push that knee back towards the little toe side of the foot. Check the torso is still directly in line with the hips, and then turn your head to look along your left arm. Take your mind to the back leg, the right leg, push the heel down, engage the quadricep, lift the inner arch of the foot up. See if you can sit down a little bit more from that place. Draw the belly in, lift the chest, shoulders down away from the ears, extending through to the fingertips with both arms, really long fingers, wide palms, and keeping the breath flowing. See if you can sit down just a little bit more. And then bring the gaze to the front, straighten your leg, and step the feet back together. Spread the toes, body weight back, lift the chest, and extend the fingers down towards the floor. Okay, hands on hips, step or hop again to a wide stride for extended side angle pose. Turn your left foot in and right foot out, elbows back, open across the chest, torso still facing the front. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Exhale, sit down to your 90-degree position. Check this back leg still awake, really engage the quadricep. Bring the elbow down to the knee, start to draw the belly in, and then turning the torso up towards the ceiling, opening across the chest. Take that top arm up and over, palm facing down, extend the fingertips away. And if you wish, you can also bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Either keep that elbow resting on the knee or bring it behind the leg with the fingertips just gently dusting, you know what I mean, touching the floor without any weight on the fingers. If you've got the hand down, you can push the knee into the elbow. If your elbow is still on your knee, use the elbow to push the knee back. Draw the belly in one more time, turn the torso, tummy, chest up towards the ceiling, extend those top fingers, stretching down the whole left side of the body, left quadricep still engaged. Can you bend the right knee a little bit more? And then bring your gaze to the front, keep the leg bent, come up through warrior two, and then straighten your leg, turn the feet round, and relax your arms a moment. Check you've still got two heels in one line. I most definitely have not. Body weight back over the heels, engage the quadriceps, and breathe. Turn now the right foot in slightly, left foot out 90 degrees, hands on hips, draw the elbows back, torso still facing the front. Draw the belly in, inhale, lift up out of the waist, and exhale, sit down now to the left. Engage this right quadricep, push the left knee back towards the little toe side of the foot. Then bring the elbow down to the knee, use that elbow to push the knee back towards the little toe, and then start to turn the tummy and the chest up towards the ceiling. Take the top arm up and over, extend away, and you can keep the gaze forwards or look up towards the ceiling. Either keep your elbow on your knee or bring the fingertips down behind the foot. Not much weight on the fingertips or none. And push the knee into the elbow. Or if you've still got your elbow on the knee, use the elbow to push the knee back. Right quadricep really active still. Draw the belly in and turn the torso up towards the ceiling. Extend that top arm, stretching down the whole side of the body. And then gaze to the front. Come up. And turn your feet around. Come back to mountain pose. Spread the toes, body weight back, lift the chest, extend the fingers down and breathe. Okay, come to a less wide stride for warrior 1 into 3. So begin with 2 heels in one line, outside edge of the feet parallel, hands on hips, elbows back, turn the left toes in and then the left heel out, so your foot's at a 45-degree angle. Push the heel down and really engage that leg from the outset, and then turn your right foot out all the way, coming to face the narrow edge of your mat. So squeeze the inner thighs together so that that back hip comes round, and really engage now your left glute, lengthening that down. Ground down through the ball of the big toe joint of your right foot. That's going to be your center of balance, and if you're struggling with the balance, you can always make that step a little bit wider. So lengthening the tailbone down by squeezing that glute, draw the belly in, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, palms facing in towards each other, and stretch up out of the waist. Mind in the back foot, push the heel down, engage the quadricep, and then bend your right knee as much as you can without losing that contact with the back foot. Again, see if you can squeeze your inner thighs together, bringing the left hip around a little bit more. And then if you wish, lift up out of the waist and start to go into a back bend, lifting up before you go back. Really lengthening the torso as you do this. Keep the belly drawing in towards the spine, tracing the fingers along the ceiling. And see if you can bend that front knee a little bit more. Then bring your gaze and your spine back to neutral. Re-find your neutral position. Briefly again, re-engage that back leg. Make sure the quadricep is pushing back. The glute is squeezed. Then draw the belly towards the spine and start to lean forwards over your front leg, transferring the weight. Pick that back foot up and come to your warrior 3. Trying to bring the left hip square with the floor, so pointing the toes down. Lift the back leg up a little bit more, bring the body down more, belly in, gazing at a single point. Obviously using your support if you need to. And then slowly pivoting out, come back, find your warrior 1. Straighten your front leg, turn the feet round and rest your arms down, hands on hips, elbows back, and we go to the other side. So turn the right foot in a lot, 45 degrees, and the left foot out all the way, and then bring the hips round. So squeezing the inner thighs together. I'm a bit too generous with my stance there. Squeeze the inner thighs together so that your right hip comes forward. Squeeze that right glute, lengthening the tailbone down. Draw the belly in. Inhale the arms up above the head and lengthen out of your waist. Take a breath in here and then really minding the back foot, pushing that heel down, engaging the quadricep. If you can bend your front knee, keeping the contact with that back foot. Really draw the belly in towards the spine here. Use the arms to lift up out of the waist. And again, squeeze the inner thighs together, trying to bring that right hip a little bit more forwards. And then from here, if you wish, going into the back bend, again, lift up out of the waist one more time and start to trace the fingers slowly along the ceiling. Keeping the breath flowing, keeping the contact with the back heel, belly to spine. And see if you can bend your front knee a little bit more. And then slowly bring the head, the spine back to neutral. Refind warrior one, push the heel down, engage the quadriceps, squeeze the right glute, draw the belly towards the spine, and then start to lean forwards over the front leg, transferring the weight, and coming up to your warrior three. Again, you're trying to bring that right hip down, squaring it with the floor, leg up more, body down more, belly in, gazing at a single point, extending the fingers away, lengthening the torso, keeping the breath flowing. And then slowly, belly to spine, start to pivot back, land gracefully in warrior one, straighten your left leg, turn the feet round, arms down and feet together. And breathe, spread the toes, body weight back, lift the chest, and fingers stretching down towards the floor. And breathe, inhaling, lifting up through the crown of the head, and exhale, extend the fingers down. Okay, again, short to medium stance, and bring the hands into prayer position behind you, or taking hold of the elbows if prayer position is not available. If you're in your prayer position, you can wiggle the hands up the back to make it a little bit more intense, and then you're going to be drawing the elbows back away from you. If you're in this position, same thing, you can stretch away from the body. Okay, turn the left foot in a lot again, find that 45-degree angle, and the right foot out all the way, and turning the hips to the side, squeeze the inner thighs together, and really engage here the left glute. Draw the belly in towards the spine. Inhale, lift up out of the waist, lengthen the front of your body, and then exhale, start to come forwards over that front leg. So only so far as you can without bending your knees or rounding the lower back here. So unless you're very flexy in your hamstrings, that's probably not going to be very far down. You're probably already feeling a strong stretch down the back of the right leg. Re-engage both of your quadriceps, so both legs should be actively straight here, and then bring the body weight forwards over the front leg a little bit more. Keep the chest lifted, bring the elbows a little bit further away from your body. Long front body, no rounding. Both quadriceps active. Perhaps coming down a little bit more. And then draw the belly in and lift yourself up. And the right foot round and the left foot round. Rest your arms a moment. If you're in prayer position, you might want to do a little counter stretch. And then we'll go to the other side. So either coming to prayer position again, or if you're taking hold of your elbows, switch whichever elbow's on top. So that you're doing that, you know what I mean. Wiggle your hand up a little bit, if that's available to you. We go to the other side. So turn the right foot in 45 degrees and the left foot out all the way. Squeeze the inner thighs together, start to bring that back hip round. Draw the belly towards the spine, actively straighten both legs. So lift those kneecaps up, engage the quadricep. Inhale, lift up out of the waist, lengthen the front body, and then start to come forwards over that front leg. And notice I say forwards instead of down. So it's as if you're trying to get your chest closer to the edge of the mat rather than down towards the floor. Reactivate the quadriceps if they've gone to sleep. Bring the body weight a little bit forward, so shift the body weight onto that front leg. Draw the belly in, keep the chest lifted, and perhaps come down a little bit more, feeling a strong stretch down the back of your front leg. Belly towards the spine, elbows up, away from the body, stretching the triceps at the same time here. Lift the chest, come down perhaps a tiny bit more. And then belly in, lift up, turn your feet round, release the hands, step back, take a counter stretch if you need to. And then release the arms down, find mountain pose, body weight back, chest lifted, and breathe. Okay, step your feet to a hip distance, generous hip distance for chair pose, and the toes in ever so slightly. Find strong mountain pose legs, so lift the arches of your feet, engage the quadriceps to begin, lift the front of the pelvis. Inhale the arms up above the head and stretch up, or have your hands on your hips with the elbows back if you want to make it a little bit softer. Lift up out of the waist, whichever position you're in, and then sit down. Body weight stays back through the heels, so shift the weight back a little bit, draw the belly in, lift the chest, so we're in a back bend here. Keeping the belly button in towards the spine, lift the arms up in line with the ears, so they're not forwards like this, but they're really working back to use the back muscles to support the weight here. See if you can sit down a little bit more. Keeping the breath flowing, lift the chest up more, sit down more. And then stand up all the way. Step the feet back together and relax the arms. Let it go, lift the chest, breathe. And then we go again with the feet together, spread the toes nice and wide, body weight back. Inhale the arms up above the head or hands on hips as you prefer. Really stretch up towards the ceiling as you breathe in, and then sit down into your chair pose with the feet and knees together. Drawing the belly in, that was my ankle cracking, and lift the chest up a little bit more. Extending through to the fingertips, draw the arms back more, sit down more, body weight back into the heels, draw the belly in, chest lifted. You sit down one more time, and then come up, bring the arms down, let the posture go, and breathe. Okay, step or hop for wide stride, turn the feet out for horse stance. So let's actually start with the legs straight. Squeeze the glutes, lift the front of the pelvis up, hands on hips, elbows back, and then you're going to sit down into your horse stance, pushing the knees out towards the little toe side of the foot, drawing the belly in, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the front of the body long. And we'll take the, you've probably still got your hands on your hips anyway, draw the elbows back, really keeping the chest open here. See if you can sit down a little bit more, squeezing those glutes, really push the knees out towards the side. We'll take the arms up, overhead, lift up out of the waist. Can you sit down a little bit more? Push those knees out. And then stand up all the way. Release your arms. Turn the feet in and step back to your mountain pose. And breathe. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, extending the fingers down. Okay. Again, step to hip distance stance. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing, but you guys can stay facing forwards. Toes in, heels out, body weight back, engage the quadriceps. Again, either hands on the hips with the elbows drawing back or arms up in line with the ears. And we're going to go in and out of a half forward bend. Draw the belly in, inhale, lift up out of the waist, lengthen the front of the body. Exhale, coming down only so far as you can without rounding the lower back. Inhale up, squeezing the glutes at the top, and exhaling down. So you can go here with the rhythm of your own breath, making sure that you're not rounding, lifting up out of the waist at the top, and really lengthening forwards at the bottom, making sure the legs stay straight without squeezing the glutes at the top. Taking that stretch into the back of the legs. If you want to challenge yourself, you can hold it at your down position just for a couple of breaths and then come up. And when you're down, really keep the arms up in line with the ears, so don't let them droop down. Okay, 3 more, whichever option you're on. And then next time you're at the top, rest the arms down. Shake the legs out a little bit if you need to. And breathe. Inhaling up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, rolling the shoulders down. Then again, take the arms up overhead, hands on hips if you wish. Lift up out of the waist and then very slowly start to come forward. Legs are straight, belly is in, stretch the fingertips away. And then bend your knees as much as you need to bring the stomach onto the thighs. Again with my cracky ankles. And just relax here. So stomach on thighs, chest on knees, hands on the floor. Relax the head. You can give it a shake and a nod. Maybe bend one knee and the other. Sway from side to side, whatever feels good. And lengthening the exhale. And then keeping your stomach on thighs, just see if you can lift the hips up a little bit here, taking the stretch into the back of the legs. Then bring your gaze forwards and step your feet back into your first plank position. Spread the fingers nice and wide, push the floor away, head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, belly in, squeeze the glutes, straight active legs, and breathing here. And then elbows in tight, drop your knees if you need to, belly in, squeezing the glutes, come down to your chaturanga. Really sending the tailbone down, belly towards the spine, squeezing the elbows in, hovering if you can, knees down if you need to. And then inhaling to your upward dog, push the floor away, shoulders away from the ears, squeezing the glutes to lengthen the lower back. Keep the breath flowing. And then tuck the toes, push back to a downward dog position, knees bent, heels up. You can walk the feet out a little bit if that feels good. Relax the head, long deep breaths here. And then find stillness and really push the body weight back towards the feet, away from the hands. So really, really active with the arms here. Bend the knees, turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Trying to find that neutral spine position. And then maybe straightening the legs a little bit more if that's available to you without rounding the back. Okay, and then drop the knees down, knees wide, toes together, hips back towards the heels, and relax. Forehead on the floor. If you want to make this a little bit more active, you can creep the fingertips away, resisting back with the heels, using the hands to lengthen the torso, or you can just relax and breathe into the back of the body. And then draw the belly in. Bring yourself back to a kneeling position. Let's just do some wrist rolls before we do more work on the wrists. Okay, so we're going to go through that sequence a little bit more swiftly, as we usually do. So start in an all fours position to set yourself up for down dog. Again, like lengthen your all fours position, so don't be cramped, because being in a bit of a longer down dog will just be better for you, being able to find that neutral spine position instead of rounding through the lower back. And then from there, tuck the toes under, knees and feet are hip distance apart. Bring the hips back towards the heels, relax the head completely. Push with the hands, so really active with the arms already. Take a breath in and breathing out, keeping the body weight back, keeping the upper body still. Lift up into your downward dog position, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And you're going to come forwards to the plank, push the floor away, exhaling down to your chaturanga, drop your knees if you need to, inhaling to your up dog, shoulders away from the ears, exhaling back to down dog. And again, repeating this in your own time to the rhythm of your breath. We'll do about 5 repetitions. Even when I'm not talking, I can't count apparently. I have no idea how many I've done. Anyway, I'll do one more. And then next time you're in your downward dog, again drop the knees and rest the hips back. Breathing into the back of the body. Really using that diaphragm, using the belly to fully inflate the lungs, pushing the air into the back of the body. Okay, and then drawing your belly in. Come up again to a kneeling position. Come forward to your all fours. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Draw the belly in. And if you've got anything nearby you, like a book or a block, you can put it onto your back. Don't worry if you haven't, you'll just have to be more honest. And from this position, bring your knees together, push the floor away, really strong position here, and then lift one leg up in line with your hips, buffering again, drawing the belly in. And then from this position, see if you can find what it feels like to inwardly rotate your leg. So kind of what naturally wants to happen is that the leg wants to turn out a little bit and the toes sort of go away from the floor. You turn the toes back down, find a little bit of that sense of squeezing the inner thighs together and bringing that hip down in line. So when we're in Warrior One, it's obviously much harder to do it, but this is the feeling that you want to be going for when you're trying to bring that hip down. It's a sort of turning of the toes down towards the floor, and that's action of squeezing the inner thighs together with the leg in line with the hip. Okay, rest that knee down. Let's just come off the wrists at the moment before we do the other side. Give your hands a little circle if you need to. And again, come forwards. Replace your little honesty block if you have one. Spread the fingers wide, push the floor away, draw the belly in, stabilize the pelvis, and lift up now your upper leg. And again, find that internal rotation, so you're turning the toes down towards the floor, squeezing the inner thighs together, drawing the belly in, lifting the leg up in line with the hip, but without going into a back bend, so not lifting the hip up. And breathing there, pushing the floor away with the arms, keeping the belly drawing in. And really active with that kind of inner thigh feeling, so really squeezing those legs towards each other without actually kind of bringing the leg over to the side. You know what I mean? And then bring that leg down. So next time when we do Warrior One, that kind of inwards rotation is what you're looking for to try and square the hips in that standing position, but it's obviously much more difficult like that. Anyway, we will use the same principle in our split dog imminently. So again, come to your all fours position and be, as I've said, generous with that distance between hands and knees. Bring the knees together this time, so knees not hip distance, because we're going to go into split dog. Tuck the toes under, drop the hips back, push the hands, so really push the body weight back towards the heels. Take a breath in, and then turning in the hip sockets, lift the hips up, keeping those hands super active. Then we'll do left side first today. So you're going to leave the right leg down and lift the left leg up. Do it slowly and see if you can keep the pelvis in this neutral position with the left hip remaining square with the floor. Don't worry about straightening the legs if that's tricky for you. Obviously, feel free to do so if you wish. Draw the belly in, still pushing the floor away, left toes stretching away, and find that inwards rotation where you're not letting the leg turn out, you're sort of turning it in, and a little bit of that action of squeezing the inner thighs together. Stretch those toes away on an inhale, and then we're going to exhale and bring the left knee to left elbow, drawing the belly in, hold it there. Inhaling back up, see if you can immediately find that alignment, turning inward rotation of the leg, squeezing the inner thighs together. And then exhale across the body, left knee to right elbow, drawing the belly in, pushing the floor away. And then inhale back up. And exhale, bring the foot down to meet its neighbor. Drop your knees, rest in child's pose. I've got my knees together this time. You can do whatever feels good. Let's actually rest the arms down by the legs if that feels good for you. Breathing into the back of the body. And then draw the belly in, roll yourself up, come to your all fours position. Make sure that your all fours position is long enough, knees together, fingers wide, tuck the toes, drop the hips back towards the heels. Relax the head, really active through the arms before you go anywhere. Take a breath in and then breathing out, lift the hips up to your downward dog position. Relax the head completely. Transfer the weight onto the left foot and slowly start to lift the right leg up with that inward rotation of the leg, trying to keep the hips square, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Drawing the belly in, really pushing away with the hands. Then lengthen those toes away. Inhale, stretch the right toes away as far as you can. And then exhale, right knee to right elbow, push the floor away, belly in, hover. Inhale up, again finding that squared pelvis position, squeezing the inner thighs together, inward rotation of the leg. Exhale, cross the body, right knee to left elbow, push the floor away, squeeze. And then inhale, back up. Really pushing the body weight back, squaring that hip down. And then drop the right leg, drop your knees, rest in whatever variation of child's pose is good for you. And then draw the belly in and start to roll yourself up. And one more time, come forwards to your all fours position. Again, knees together, spread the fingers nice and wide, tuck the toes under, drop the hips at back, push the body weight back to the heels, take a breath in, and breathing out, lift the hips up. We go again to the left leg, draw the belly in, really stabilize the position, think where your pelvis is, and then slowly lift that left leg up, keeping that internal rotation of the leg. Stretch the toes away on an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the knee up towards your chest, push the floor away, hover, and then step your foot in between your hands. You might need to take a couple of steps, that's fine. And then either coming up to a long lunge position or dropping the back knee if you wish. Bring your hands onto your hips, draw the elbows back, belly in, lift the chest. If you're up in a high lunge, activate this right quadricep. Again, see if you can bring that right hip forwards a little bit. Lifting up out of the waist. And you can either keep your hands on the hips or take the arms up above the head and lengthen. So you can sit down a little bit more into that lunge. And then bring the hands forwards. Tuck your toes if you've got the knee down and come back to your split dog position, inwards rotation of that leg. And bring the left leg down. Reset for a moment, push the body weight back, relax the head, and inhale the right leg up. Find that inward rotation, squeezing the inner thighs together. Stretch the toes away on an inhale. Exhale, bring the knee up towards the chest. Push the floor away, rounding the back. And then step the foot in between the hands. Take a couple of steps if you need to. And then come up to a high lunge or drop the back knee if you prefer. Hands on hips, drawing the elbows back, opening the front of the body. Draw the belly in, lift the chest. Sitting those hips down a little bit more and really active through the left leg now if you're up in the high lunge. So engaging that quadricep. And then if you want to take the arms up above the head, lifting up out of the waist. Sit the hips down a little bit more, squeezing those inner thighs together. And then bring the hands down either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee up if your knee is on the floor. Come up to your split dog. Find that inward rotation of the leg. Extend the toes away. And then bring the foot down. Drop your knees. And rest in a child's pose. Breathing into the back of the body. And then draw your belly in and roll yourself up, restacking the back, roll the shoulders back, and we'll make our way over onto our backside. So start with your feet mat width apart and lower yourself down onto your back. And then we're gonna just drop the knees over to one side, keeping the feet on the floor on an exhale, inhaling back up and then dropping to the other side. And you're bringing the knee that's dropping down towards the other foot as you exhale, stretching a little bit across the front of the pelvis. Inhaling up, exhaling down. You might experiment with bringing the feet a little bit closer or further away from the body and see how that impacts stretch. And you can be kind of quite passive here, just allowing the legs to flop down, or you can be active and really try and work that knee down towards the floor, working again that internal rotation and stretching across the front of the hips. And then finishing on whatever side you didn't start on. Come to rest in the center and bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop out to the side in a Baddha Konasana. And just rest here, breathing into the belly. If it's too intense, you can bring the feet a little bit further away from the body. And then bring your feet back to the floor. And we'll get ready for Shavasana. So bring the palms face up towards the ceiling, push the elbows down, lift the chest and draw the shoulder blades down underneath the body. Lift the hips, lengthen the lower back, and then allow the legs to come long and the feet to fall out to the side. And close your eyes. Make any adjustments so that you can be comfortable for the next few minutes as we rest in Shavasana. And feel your body supported by the floor. Allowing the muscles to let go. And bring your awareness down into the feet and the ankles and relax them. And bring your awareness into the shins and the calves, the knees and the thighs, and relax them. And noticing if there's any areas that don't quite want to relax, not to judge it or criticize it, but just to notice it. And then bring your awareness to your hips, feeling the weight of the pelvis, supported by the floor. And bring your awareness to the lower back, middle back, and upper back. And to the abdomen, navel, and chest. And relax them. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and arms, the elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. Relax them. And then bring your awareness to your neck and head. And relax all the muscles of the face, the jaw, tongue, lower lip, upper lip, nose, and cheeks. The eyes and eyelids, the eyebrows, and the forehead. And then bring your awareness to your breathing. Feel the sensations of the air moving in and out past the nostrils. And the gentle movement of the abdomen. As you inhale, the belly rises. And as you exhale, the belly falls. And then gradually start to invite some life back into your body. Start to bring the breath back to a more normal level, taking some deeper, longer breaths. And start to bring some movement into the toes and the fingers, into the legs and arms. Maybe taking a full body stretch, arms above the head. And when you're ready, making your way back to a seated position. Sit cross-legged or on your knees. Sitting up straight one last time, resting the hands on the thighs. Inhaling, lifting the chest, and exhaling, dropping the shoulders down and back. And if you want to, you can bring your hands to your prayer position, resting the thumbs on the sternum. Bow your chin towards your chest. Take a moment to notice how you feel, to give thanks. And then raise your head and open your eyes. Namaste, everyone. All right, thank you very much and well done.